This is an unboxing and quick product review on the Banana Gibbon 5. This happens to be an active powered speaker. Right, in the box you'll get your active powered speaker. There's the user manual. These are the feet, the sponge feet, which you can put on at the bottom so it does not scratch the vinyl layer, and then your country specific power cable which plugs into the back of the Gibbon 5. Right, before I do the review, I'm just going to show you the dimensions, weight and features of the speaker itself. Right, without the sponge feet on, you can see that the height off the table is 27.5 centimeters. Now, having a look at the front here, you can see that there are different thicknesses. So to measure the total depth, you also have to account for these little pots here, potentiometers, and I will say it's about 22 centimeters including the potentiometers at the back, and then the width is 19 centimeters. Right, to install the little sponge feet, you just peel them off and stick them on. They are quite sticky, although you can peel it off if you want to, if you've made a mistake. This is the product manual for the Gibbon series, and you'll see that it's in two languages. You've got Dutch and you've got English. You'll notice this is the same manual for the 5-inch or the 8-inch as well as the 10-inch active subwoofer. So the 5 and the 8 denote the woofer size. As you can see, that is a 5¼ inch woofer. And here it's got a grill, looks like an aluminium grill over what they are calling a 1-inch silk dome tweeter. According to their own frequency response, they're saying it's 48 Hertz to 22 kilohertz. So that is a good frequency response, and it's got a crossover. If you have a look at the back, I'll just show you. It's got a volume knob, and what is really nice about it is as you get to the middle, it almost wants to stay there and then it carries on. So it's got a resting position, and then the high pass filter, you can see you can go plus 6 decibels or minus 6 decibels, so you can increase it there or decrease it. Again, with a resting position or a default position. Same with the low pass filter, you can minus 6 decibels or you can increase 6 decibels, and same story. Getting control of the EQ, and then in terms of connectivity, just having a look here, you've got the unbalanced RCA or speaker jack, and then here you've got the XLR with the pinouts. All right, now at the bottom here, this is the power supply area. So it's been set here to 230 volts, and you can change this to the 100 to 120 volts. So obviously it can work on different continents, different countries. Then it's got a manual power button. You can see switch on and off, and there is the kettle type plug with a fuse there. And you can see this is where you plug it in. The power rating there, it says 100 watts. And just having a look at what it says at the back on the faceplate here, it says low frequency amp power 45 watts, high frequency amp power 35 watts. So obviously got two different amplifiers for the different output stage, the high frequency and the low frequency. Now if you want to have a look inside, or if you need to repair it, it's got quite a number of screws here. So I'm just going to open the ones towards the sides, because I'm assuming that is the one that holds this faceplate in. So when you look here, you can see this is ported. Quite a deep port. And I'm just going to open it and have a look inside. There you can see it's coming out. I just unscrewed only the outer screws, and here we go. I'm just peeling this out gently. Right, just having a look inside, you can see there's the woofer, the tweeters up at the top there. What you'll notice is that there's a lot of attention to the construction. I'm really impressed. Firstly, you've got this baffling. Look at the wrapping of the cables. You know why? Because you don't want rattles, and I really appreciate it when speaker manufacturers do things like this. All right, just analyzing the circuitry here. You've got your electrical power coming in here. There's the fuse going into the transformer, power switch, and then this looks like the audio input stage. Also the active filtration, meaning the active filters. There's your volume, low pass, high pass, probably some op amps, and then over here there you can see is the filter circuit. I would have liked to have seen mylar capacitors for active filters. although polyester is fine. And then on this side, this is probably your amplifier section. So you can see there's the heat sink, 2 transistors there, and then 2 more there. And this looks like it's made by hand, just judging by the way the silicone grease is here, the way it's wrapped. This looks like it's made by hand. And overall, I think this is well constructed. Inside the box, you'll see there's a little circuit there at the back. I don't know if you can see it. Just there's a little red circuit. And what happens is when you turn on the speaker, this little monkey banana name here actually lights up. So there's obviously 2 LEDs here, and as it senses the signal, this comes on. It actually tells you if it's on or not. Really nice feature, and I'll show you that working shortly. I would consider this more on the high-end side. Attention to detail, and I think they're trying to make this last. And the reason why I say that is, to have an amplifier inside of the enclosure is always challenging because of the vibration. And if I have a look here, they've actually cable tied it to make it short. And on top of that, if you look at these connectors, because I am going to close this now, they've actually glued it in. So I had to break the glue to get that connector out. There, you see it's glued in and glued in. So I would now have to just put some glue there just to make sure that I've put it back in the same standard that it was constructed to. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here on that connector, which I opened, just so that any vibration does not loosen it. Right, time to close it. And lastly, if you're wondering what this is a wrap. There you can see there it is. It's wrapped nicely in this vinyl finish. It's got a plastic feel, but it does feel premium. Alright, to plug it in like that, and you switch it on, and there is the monkey banana label. Right, just having a look at how to connect the Gibbon 5 to your audio source. Right, you've got a few options here, and I'll just go through them with you one by one. If you've got a media player and you want to connect your media player directly to your Gibbon, well, that's fine. You could just use the RCAs, maybe RCA out, and then that could go into any one of these. So it really depends on the cable type you've got. So you could go to RCA to RCA input. Remember, this is left and right, but this is only one speaker. So obviously if you had another speaker, you could do left and right. So this would be a media player. If you were going straight from your phone, well, there you would connect your aux cable, and then from the other side there, that would go into your Gibbon 5. So you straight from your phone using the aux. And then if you're using a audio interface, for example, here's an audio interface, quite a common one, and there you can see the output left and right, and then this would then need to go into your Gibbon 5. So this happens to be RCA to XLR, but you're not limited to that. You could also use RCA to jack or to RCA. So you go to RCA to RCA. Now here is an example of the jack. You could connect it in like that. There's the input, and I'll show you another audio interface. Here's one over here, and as you can see, it's also using the jack, so you could plug in from jack to jack. So it really, it's up to you. What's your preference? Now, you might be wondering whether you should be using the balanced or the unbalanced connections. Right, overall, this is my experience. The balanced connections deliver more power, so you'll find that the speaker is louder quicker. So you're getting a real gain boost with this one. But if you're looking for high quality sound, that is a personal thing, and I can't really hear much difference between using the unbalanced and balanced, except for the one is louder than the other. However, in terms of noise, there's definitely an advantage in terms of using the balanced connector. If I put the unbalanced in and I turn the volume up full, I can hear a slight buzzing sound, and that is the nature of unbalanced connectors. So I've now been listening to this for a while. The one speaker's been on my desk for well over a month. Then I got another one. So now I finally got the stereo, and I'll give you my review of the Gibbon 5 shortly. And just to show you the power coming on, as the signal comes on, you'll see the monkey banana little label there, have a LED behind it, turn on. One of the things I like about it is the signal level to wake it up is very low. So you can use these speakers on your desk if you're listening to very low background music. A lot of other speakers need a higher turn on signal level versus this one, which is very low. So it's quite sensitive to the signal coming in. Then when you leave the signal off after 12 minutes, it will power down and go into a power saving mode, and you can actually leave it like that. It is energy efficient at that point. All right, so that's my little desktop there. There are the Gibbon 5s under the monitors. So you'll see that I have an audio interface there. It's not my favorite audio interface, but because it is very commonly known, I'm using it for this video. I have done a audio frequency response test on the M-Track, and I have to confess that it does have a flat response across the 20 kilohertz audible range. So I'm happy to use it because it does provide a flat audio response, albeit some other bugs that come with it. All right, so I'll be playing some music, and I will be playing it directly from my computer, digitally coming through the audio interface. Just keeping in mind these crossovers, I just keep them at flat response. These are the high frequency and the low frequency at flat response. I'm not adjusting the sound. I really want to just listen for a flat response. Now, obviously, the sound that you're hearing is just how good my camera microphone is, so you'll just have to trust me. I will take a little SPL measurement just to give you the sound pressure level, to give you an idea of what volume it will be at. This should be at 1 meter away from the speakers, but I'm just going to put it on the table anyway. Now, I find that female vocals is a very good test for the range of the speaker and how well it can handle. Very quickly, you can hear distortion in the mid-range with a female vocal. So I'm going to play some female vocals, and then you can have a listen.
Came singing in my window this morning. For my bus to come along.
Alright, so to give you my review, first thing, the construction. Construction is very good. Opening the back panel, I was impressed. Even had the double-sided tape to stop any rattles on that faceplate mating onto the speaker enclosure. I was happy with the design. I like a Class AB amplifier. A lot of manufacturers are going in for a Class D. Some of them are getting it right. The sound's pretty good. Keeping in mind that, you know, to have a Class A or Class AB, it needs more power. More power means more expensive design. Right, then I also was happy with the way it looks. It seems like it's good quality. It's been on my desk. I haven't dropped them, so I can't comment on their versatility. Right, in terms of the sound, now this is the Gibbon 5, and I had a look here and I saw what they consider the purpose of their speaker. I will admit that I was impressed. The sound is good. Now, everything comes at a price. Now, I don't know if you know, more than probably about 20 odd years ago, Boston Acoustics had a nice reference bookshelf type speaker, and that's kind of the sound that I'm picking up here. It's got a high-end sound, meaning it does sound premium, and the bass is definitely there. Please don't consider the microphone recordings that I did any reflection on these speakers, not at all. Even when I re-listen to it when I'm doing the editing, it sounds very poor. So what you're hearing on YouTube doesn't sound, it's not doing any justice to these speakers. These speakers sound really good. And I have a pair of M Audio AV42, which I'll be doing a review on, just to give you a comparison. The AV42 are in a totally different league, way below these Monkey Bananas. This is in the league of the Bose, your Polk Audio. From my day, we had Mission, and it's that type of sound. It definitely meets the criteria of good sounding speaker. However, there are some limitations to that sound. Now, I had it on a flat response. Okay, so you might be wondering, what reference level do I have? Like, what's the best sound? Well, the best sound to me is the AKG 271 stereo headphones used for mastering of studio recordings. And these Monkey Bananas on my desk definitely sound good. They're near field, which means you sit close to them. I mean, you're sitting about a meter away, your ears about a meter away from the drivers. And the stereo imagery, that imaginary position in the center of my desk, is extremely distinct. One thing I can say about these speakers is the imaginary stereo field, that field in the center. It feels like the person is standing right in front of you. If you close your eyes, the woman is singing or the man is playing the drums, whatever it is, it's like the sound is coming from the central location. They nailed that. My only concern is, I don't know if it's a concern because it comes at a price. These speakers get a bit wayward when I make them loud with a very busy sound. A busy sound means hard rock or heavy metal. So this is not a type of speaker you're going to blast your heavy metal for your friends at a party. Not at all. This is a speaker which prefers a more relaxed sound. You saw us playing there the band Yellow. That type of music where the aim is to hear each instrument. But if you listening to a sound that's very busy, these sound good at low volume, but when it gets to quite a high volume above 80 decibels, I find that the sound gets a bit mixed up. There's a lot of almost like contamination of the sound. And what I mean by that is you can no longer enjoy it. It becomes actually noisy. All right, but would I use this for sound editing? Like if I was editing music? Yes, I would. It sounds good enough. And at times you still have to put on your headphones as a reference, but the sound is clear and it's enjoyable to listen to. Would I use this for mastering? No. And it's funny that I see this on the website. It also says 60%. And there's a reason for that is mastering needs to have an accurate representation of the sound from low volume right to high volume, because at times you have to play a certain part of the song very loud, and that's where I feel the speaker has a non-linear. When I say non-linear, I mean it's an inconsistent response along the volume spectrum, but that's only if the sound is busy though. So that's a bit of a problem, because sometimes if there's a drum hit and the person hits their highest vocal note at the same time, I don't know if I can trust the speakers. If you're somebody who's gaming, this obviously, and it even says 100%, and I believe it. And if you're someone who's doing editing, maybe you do video editing or vlogging, definitely you can't go wrong. These are good quality speakers. I'm really happy I bought them. The question is, will they last? I'm happy with these technical specifications. So overall, give it a thumbs up, and I'm quite excited to look at their other products. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. Cheers.